morning, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa television broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center in Africa. This is Dr. David Mathanga, the anchor for this session. I'm the host for this show because East Africa matters to me. African integration matters to me. From the point of the editor's memo, I've picked this topic this morning because of the achievements done by His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who has tried to put back the spirit of East Africa. I'm sorry, Miriam, but I have to fix my microphone, which is falling to pieces. There you are. I look okay now. I've brought this topic this morning because President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta legacy is going to be weighed against what performance in infrastructure, what has he delivered, what has he connected, where is it connected. The editor's memo, therefore, looks at particular issues that President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has delivered for the people of Kenya and for people of East Africa. His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, in his tenure of office, for the last 9 years or so, he has been emphasizing integration, integration, integration. He has been emphasizing Pan-Africanism, a rare breed of Pan-Africanism, my panel. A breed that looks at issues that brings Kenya on top of Pan-African dream. A dream that we have been waiting for. Across Africa, in several places of this continent, several people, several presidents have tried to bring Pan-Africanism, to deliver an integrated Africa. The dream of Kwame Nkrumah in 1963, seek independence, political independence, political unity, unity of purpose. The unity of purpose that we in Kenya and the people of Kenya have been looking for. Then you will have economic emancipation. Miriam across, and thank you very much, my dear, for that photograph. I hope you will send a part to me also. I need it. You can also take when I'm making notes, and we give to our technical ICT team. This must be kept busy while we are making these points very clear. President Uhuru Kenyatta, many of the critics have been telling us that what has he delivered. The legacy trend of which I am the founder and the controller of the legacy trend, I document each and everything that His Excellency, the President, has done on the question of infrastructure, on the question of peace, on the question of unity, on the question of economy, on the question of food security, on the question of infrastructure, on the question of housing, on the question of universal health care. Has he delivered? Let's look at the key points. Infrastructure today, which we are going to tackle, to use it as East African integration. Is it a myth or a reality? To me, I believe East Africa, the dream of Kwame Nkrumah, the dream of Jomo Kenyatta, the dream of Nyerere, the dream of Dr. Milton Obote, the dream of the founding fathers of this great nation, this great continent of Africa, will come to be got through Kenya. You realize that it is Kenya which is the pivotal point of delivery of all that what Africa wants. If Kenya goes wrong, Africa goes wrong. If Africa goes wrong, it comes back to Kenya. That's why we see today, Miriam, in your first chapter, you have been talking about how do we change our schools? How do we change our politics? How do we change our economy? How do we support the president? There are many people across the continent of Africa who believe that His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has pushed East African integration, the integration of Africa, the Pan-African dream, highly, which I believe they believe millions accept in my theory. One of the significant things that President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has done for Kenya is to leave a legacy of a united, no winner takes all. The handshake. There is nobody on the planet that will look at the handshake in a negative way. I have studied political science to the level of an international icon. The last iota of political science theories, classic, both revolutionary theories. Believe me or not, I would have become a Marxist. And when I told it, I wish one day about that dream of me becoming a Marxist, because I followed Karl Marx. I looked at Karl Marx as a stepping stone. I looked at the founding, most of the people. My dream was closer to the dream of His Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. We almost matched somewhere on the question of changing Africa, on the question of making Africa the best way out, on the question of giving Africa what Africa needs. Tawish, Miriam, Gitonga, I was almost going to be swayed to a Marxist theory. Fortunately, because of the background of our politics in our country, I came from a region that supports the late President Milton Obote, who died. So we had a few differences. But I remained with 4 professors. Professor Yashi Tandon, Professor Dani Wadada Nabdele, Professor Rugumayo, who is present, he's there. This is 1978, Kitawish, 79, from the Uganda National Liberation Front in Moshi. We were the first people, together with President Museveni and others, who created the Office of Diplomatic Affairs, because there was no foreign policy of Kenya, of Uganda at that time. So I was pushed to classic Marxist with Omonyo Jok, Yashi Tandon, Rugumayo, Dani Wadada Nabudeli. Rugumayo is still alive. Anybody can ask, go and ask whether, take this picture and ask whether Rugumayo doesn't know me. But among them, I was the only person different, because I came from a background of Chikosi Malum, 208 KJ, of Oito Jok and others. I was on the line of His Excellency, the late President Obote, Okero, and the rest, and Oito Jok. So, with a man called the late Nasasira, I'm doing this history for some friends to listen to me, that they should know that we have come a long way to make East Africa working. The last day that I left Uganda to go to Tanzania, through here in a trailer, was when His Excellency, the founding father, was being buried in 1978. He was at the Parliament building when I stopped somewhere around Nyayo House, and I went to Intercontinental Hotel, where our contact that was to smuggle us across Namanga to go into Moshi and Arusha to give information and to join. So I picked up that Pan-African spirit of an integrated Africa, an integrated East Africa, an East African region with unity of purpose. Since then, Medium, the rest is history. We have been together as Africans. President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has been standing for unity of East Africa. He has done the best to make sure that East Africa remains the center, the pinnacle of salvation for the rest of Africa. Is it a myth or a reality? I believe Miriam has questions to give me. If you have questions to give me, I'll take them. But let me come and finish on one thing that impressed me. President Uhuru Kenyatta last night drove or flew to Kisumu, to Naivasha, to Mbita, to Lake Victoria. Why did God make Lake Victoria? And why did God not put Lake Victoria in Libya, but put Lake Victoria in East Africa? God put Lake Victoria in East Africa for us to use it, to enhance humanity, to create access for trade, for integration, for food. It is therefore very important that His Excellency, during this last 80 months left, that he connects, he links to the people of East Africa, that he unites the people of East Africa. He leaves a legacy of a united East Africa. A united East Africa is the best way to go. A united East Africa has lots of fruits for anybody to see. A united East Africa gives salvation to all the people of East Africa. A united East Africa integrates the thoughts, the difficulties, the obstacles, the challenges, the structural adjustments that you would like to put. The East African Common Market proposal of one border stop point was implemented. Today, Medium, if you go to Busia or Malaba, you have one stop. You will not be presenting too many papers. You will not be presenting a heap of documents. You just need to produce one document that is used to clear your goods or to re-export or to export your goods. This is an achievement under President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni of Uganda. Of course, on this journey of East African integration, you will meet quite a lot of challenges. Ministers might not agree. Traders might overdo their things. People might start smuggling. And when they smuggle, they create a problem for all of us. When you bring in illicit sugar, you kill that sugar that is already regulated. When you put up policies, those policies will affect the people of Kenya and Uganda. Is East Africa integration a reality or a myth? East African integration is a reality. But to some extent, it becomes a mirage. Medium will agree with me that it becomes a mirage when you cannot enter Tanzania as a Kenyan freely. It becomes a mirage when you are told you are Ugandan, you are told you are a Kenyan, you shouldn't come to Tanzania, or you shouldn't go to Rwanda, or you need a visa to go to Tanzania, or you need a visa to go to South Sudan. It becomes a mirage. It creates a sense of uncertainty that therefore delivers our region. But who is the catalyst behind all this mess? If you look at the mess, where is the mess coming? Why East Africa? With a population of over 300 million people. If you add all the population of South Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and add parts of DRC, Congo, and Somalia now, we can come to 300 million over people. 300 million people can consume, take an item of sugar. How many households do we have in 300 million people? How many people do we have who consume all the sugar that is produced in Uganda, in Lugazi, in Kakira, and in other places of the region? How many? There are many. But have we utilized the dream of a united East Africa? Have we delivered the dream that the founding fathers wanted? The answer to me, partly yes, but partly it is time for the leaders today. Whether President Uhuru Kenyatta is in power tomorrow or he's not in power, to continue with this journey of integrating East Africa, putting East Africa, putting Africa, and the dream of our founding fathers of a Pan-African Africa will rise and shine again. Of course, there are obstacles, Miriam, and the panel, and those listening across East Africa. When President Uhuru Kenyatta visited Kisumu yesterday, I was very pleased to see him along with a young man who is part and parcel of the Ugandan establishment, which is very good young man who has come out to look for value, to say, where is our dream of East Africa? The East Africa does not need the Harun Yadin. We don't need Harun Yadin to come and lie to us that he is an investor. We don't need the Spencers, the Michael Spencers, to lie to us that they are investors. We need investors from Uganda, from Kenya, from Tanzania, from Rwanda, from Burundi, from Zimbabwe, to come and invest. Those from Kenya to invest in Zimbabwe. That's what we need. That's what East Africa, the one we want. We need to see the East African railways. We need to see the border points of Malaba where the railway passes. A good point where you sit in the railway working with your laptop and there is internet in the railway, in the train, and you reach Malaba, do your business, wait for the next train to return to Nairobi. That is the life we grew up in ourselves, myself. I used to come to Kenya through the East African community, railways, medium where food was well served, good food. Even when you step in the train from Tororo or from Mbale station, where I was born in the mountains, when you on your way to Tororo and you are preparing Miriam to come to Kenya, Nairobi was like London to me. You could now say, I don't know how many of you have read this book of Mutabingwa. Mutabingwa book, I don't know, most of you on the panel read Makonde, and then Ogundipe. And I don't know in Kenya what you are reading, but in Uganda, some of the students that were doing the exam, Makoha would not be having problems that Miriam talked about if we had the East African Community certificates of education. I want to tell the world here that my certificate is not a Uganda certificate of education. I got the East African certificate of education in 1974 when I was leaving Manjasi High School in senior 4. My certificates don't read Uganda's certificate of education. My second certificate also does not read, because the East Africans, the last exam of East African certificate of education in conjunction with Cambridge, Canterbury, Oxford, and other institutions in the UK that were setting exams that Magoha is now bringing back to, and the people are complaining. People are banning schools because people have become lazy. We parents have become lazy. We don't look at our parents, our children, when they come back. We throw them, we give them the remote. This remote. Miriam, this one. When, hello, Brian, when you finish, call me, switch off. That's what we do, what most of us parents do. My father never allowed me to touch a television, a white and black and white television that we used to have, using a battery, not electricity, because at that time in our place, there was no electricity. It hadn't gone there in the 60s. Electricity started coming. The wires had passed, but there was no electricity. We were using a battery, big battery that is rechargeable. Every month, a car passes with charged battery, takes the old battery. But nowadays, if you give the man the recharged battery, they will sell it, Miriam. When you come to collect the battery, it has been sold. Things have changed. Mindset have changed. Behavior, morality has gone down. Our countries have gone back. That's why you see your argument over the schools, the root causes. Sharon was taking of what are the root causes of why people ban the schools. Part of it, the exams are set badly also. I don't know whether you have looked at that type of exams that are set. These exams create chaos among the students. Some of them start getting worried, especially those ones whose brains are derailed mentally and have very little knowledge. They have been busy playing around in the playfields, and they don't do homework, they don't revise, they get worried. So what is the next solution? To dismantle the entire school so that the exams are not held. These are some of the issues that countries can help each other in East Africa. Resting my case now is I am very happy that His Excellency, the President, showed his legacy last night in Kisumu, in Mbita, in Naivasha, dry port. And I believe His Excellency, that offer of the Uganda being given land to build the dry port still stands. And the Uganda government will take up. Miriam, can I finish by telling you, if you go to Naivasha right now, you might not get accommodation. You might not get accommodation at all. There is no accommodation in Naivasha hotels. Why so? Because all the hotels in Naivasha at the moment are full up. They are full up. People are there. The business is booming. It is COVID-19 that brought all these inaccuracies and the difficulties and obstacles. Otherwise, President Uhuru Kenyatta has set the infrastructure across this country, and I hope Uganda will take a picture of what Kenya is doing to set the infrastructure. And as I finish, I want to thank President Museveni for having given us water in my remote area where I'm born, Miriam. We used to have a river just near me. I was lucky. We used not to walk for distance. Our place is mountainous, but my mother at the moment uses tapped water, which has been brought by a pipe and in her compound. That is a very good achievement after this time for the last 36 to 37 years. That water is flowing in my compound. That's a very good achievement of infrastructure. We need more. There are areas in Kenya that need water. There are areas in Kenya where there is no water. Why can't we borrow the model of Uganda of, what is it called, gravity water? Uganda has used the gravity water mechanism. While you in Kenya, you use pipes to take it down. Uganda has used gravity. I don't know, I'm not an expert on gravity water, but these are some of the things. Another good thing for Kenya and Uganda is the question that if you visit Karamoja across, you can have your beer, your chicken, your meat without any problem. But if you come to Nanok, Turkana, you must be armed fully in order to have your beer in a bar. Why? There's insecurity in West Pokot, in Turkana, which border Uganda and Kenya. These are lessons that the Ugandan people and the Kenyan people can exchange notes, and the medium, our East African community, will be a reality. I thank you very much. It is a reality, but to some extent a myth when it comes to practical terms of Ugandans and the Kenyans. Kenyans in Uganda are allowed to do what they want, except breaking shops. You can't be robbery. In Uganda, you see, we have a system that checks on any thief, that you know what the law is there, Miriam. I don't need to make it bigger. You are a bit of an expert on that line. Thieves in Uganda are dealt with in a very, very organized way. And as I leave this topic, as we wait for Congo to integrate in East African community, I want to thank President Museveni for rearranging Congo. Miriam, are you not happy that on the same platform we said, let Congo be rearranged? You can't have 146 rebel groups. Hello? What are they doing in a neighboring country? Coming to eat us like locusts. Come and eat. Yesterday I made a mistake to say one word there. I wouldn't like to say it here. Then it can cause a lot of debate. They eat us like locusts. They go back and make statements. No. I am happy. And the Kenyan contingent of KDF is also in Congo. That is the type of cooperation that we need. I rest my case.
Very well, thank you, Doc, for those issues that you raised there. I'll start with you, Samuel Tawish, and perhaps from what Doc has shared, what perhaps you've picked and you would like to add your voice to.
Thank you so much, Miriam, and thank you, Dr. David Masanga from the Political Command Center, and of course, my sister, Sharon Gitonga. Miriam, indeed, listening to Dr. Masanga's submission, I can only but agree that indeed the East Africa region today, as we speak, has registered both successes and failure. There's a reality with which we are integrating Africa, but also there's an aspect of our failure as a region, I mean, almost informed by the lack of that necessity really to integrate and make sure that we are bringing our people together in the East Africa community today. And Dr. Masanga has spoken, for instance, about the issue of the infrastructure, the road connectivity. We have seen the rail also when you look into the, of course, of course, the water transport. These are some of the things I suppose if the East African community could really harness and make sure that we speak in one voice, we are able to consolidate every region's potential, then we'll be able to make a greater achievement in as far as uniting the continent of Africa and the East Africa region in specific. But Miriam, I think it is the leadership also which must be able really to provide this moral guidance and compass in as far as what the entire populace in the East Africa region need now to follow cue in terms of ensuring that we are opening up trade amongst the countries that make up the East Africa community. For instance, Dr. Masanga has spoken about the issue of Kakira in Uganda. Sugar is being produced. Of course, a lot of sugar is being produced in Uganda. But now all that sugar cannot only be consumed by the people of Uganda, it can as well be consumed by the people of Kenya, the people of Tanzania, and the rest of the East Africa region. But when you look into the kind of altercation, the kind of course, quarrels that from time to time these countries engage in, you find that we are having Uganda producing enough sugar, but that one which they are able to consume, and most of it can be exported to the rest of the East Africa region, if not to the entire world, is not brought to the country because of the small politics and disagreements. So those are some of the small issues that we need to iron out. Dr. Masanga will also tell you, Miriam, for example, Uganda is a food basket as we speak. The people of Uganda, particularly, do not cry of hunger like we do in Kenya or some other parts in the East Africa community. I've had a chance to be at the borders of Busia and Malaba, and I can tell you, if you wanted to get good matoke, you want to get good fish, you want to eat good chicken, the road runner, and at a relatively fair price, Miriam, anyone will choose really to cross over to Uganda or cross over through the borders of Malaba or Busia to have that meal and come back to Kenya. Even if you wanted to take a bottle of beer, I can tell you, life is affordable. And if only Kenya, for instance, could be able to tap into that potential, that is Uganda. If they're able to discuss with the president and the leadership in terms of policy intervention, what is it that Kenya, for instance, can be able to do to make sure that, for example, the living standard in Kenya has equally been improved and the cost of basic commodities is not as high and severe as it is today in Kenya, or at least you can equate with what Uganda is or Tanzania. Then I can tell you we are able to integrate this society and community moving forward. There's also been that harassment when it comes to, say, our traders. Say in the Lake Victoria, the fishermen there, you've seen sometimes being arrested by soldiers on the other side of this East Africa region. And also there's been a lot of fights among the fishermen themselves, Uganda and Kenya are fighting. It's the same thing you're witnessing in Somalia today. You witness the same between Uganda and Rwanda. So these are just some of the things that we need really to improve on. And once we improve on these very, very little things, I can tell you, the East Africa community will be able to achieve the greater vision that they have had always for this greater East African community, and to that extent, the African continent. The dream of our founding fathers, Miriam, in terms of making sure, for example, we have one, of course, say, for example, even one single currency that we are able to trade without so much restrictions or even barriers. Today, we want to see people move to Uganda freely and come back to Kenya, the same to Tanzania, the same to Rwanda, Burundi, and Somalia, easily do trade and even be able to settle there without necessarily heaping so much barriers and impediments that make it otherwise impossible for them to be able to carry out their duties. So we all understand the challenges that we have. It is only the heart and the willingness to come out and address them. Look at, for example, Kenya today. You ask yourself, why would the senator from Kericho, Aaron Cheriot, have a problem with Mishra? Is a Kenyan of Indian origin, really putting up massive businesses, not only in parts of Rift Valley, not only in Eldoret, but in most parts of Kenya. His hospitals have been healing people in terms of cancer treatment. But instead of tapping this potential, instead of embracing such kind of potential, we continue to bash such individuals. So this same mindset and attitude that we are having from right from our community setups from our individual countries is what is affecting even the East African community and the African continent at large. So we must be able to change our attitude and change the way we are embracing and doing business and engagement with the rest of the East Africa community if we are to make any strides, Miriam, to that effect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And even as you were speaking, I was just going through this hashtag on Twitter right now of hashtag #V2Ground, and Kenyans are sharing some of the things that the government under President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to achieve. I think countering the narrative by Deputy President that since the handshake, developmental projects have stalled. So it's a lot, and for those who want to find out, Kenyans are sharing from every part of the country where they are the things that the government has been able to do and how these projects have touched their lives and changed their lives. So you can go see that on the hashtag #V2Ground. This is what you're telling us, but this is what we know that the government has actually done on the ground. So it's quite interesting. So I was just looking at that. Thank you so much, Sharon Gitonga, Dr.
Miriam, before Sharon comes in, Emmanuel Marwal, no, not Emmanuel, Shalbreak Gabriel says, is to you. I am reading the message here. I don't know whether you have got the message. He says, I hope Miriam will read this. He says, let the government remove the roadblocks from Kakuma to Kitale. A video in 2018 and 2020, my people live in Kenya for 30 years and they are still discriminated, and they can't move to 5 kilometers away from refugee camp. 30 years. In Britain, you are integrated. You could be integrated in actually after 5 years, you become a British national. You are integrated. If you have good manners, good behavior, you are working, you have gone to school, you are paying taxes, you are integrated. So this man is a refugee somewhere in the Kakuma camp. And Manasseh Oto says, the East Africa is not something new. We just need to bring it back. That his uncle used to work in Kenya for 30 years without papers. And he was called. He was not called. He was known as a Sudanese, and that was enough. He came back to Sudan, now South Sudan, in 1984. This is Mr. Manasseh Oto, my friend, our good man from Denmark. He has been with us for the last 6 years that we have been broadcasting. And thank you very much, Mr. Oto. Joseph, stand with that spirit of Pan-Africanism. Together we shall rise and shine again. Shadrach says, I am sure Miss Miriam will not left out stones unattended.
Yes, the comments. All right. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, indeed. And I think that comment by Joseph Oto Manasseh, I think has really warmed my heart. And growing up, I grew up in a neighborhood that was close to another estate that we had a lot of South Sudanese residents and nationalities who some of them have been able to get their nationalities. But I think for the issue that you've raised, I think that is something very important, and hopefully the people responsible will look into that, because if you've lived in a country for 30 years, we saw last year the Shona community from Zimbabwe, now they've been integrated. They're part of the Kenyan communities now we have, and now they've been able to be given their national IDs. Now they can open bank accounts and things like that. So I think as much as Kenya, we have problems in terms of dealing with the insurgence of refugees from other countries across Africa, but we also try our best. So I think the issue that you've raised there, hopefully somebody that is responsible has taken that into account, and it will be addressed, because that's what we do. As Miriam,
as Sharon comes in, I want to take this opportunity on behalf of refugees, because I am a senior refugee.
I didn't know there was ranking, but yes, I understand though.
Yes, I'm a senior refugee. as on behalf of, not in Kenya, but I'm a senior refugee. Yes. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Kenyan government for being hospitable to most refugees who have come here from Somalia, from South Sudan, from Congo, from Eritrea, from Ethiopia, who have actually developed talents in this country. Some of them, like the Somali senator, the lady, she's a Kenyan. She passed through Kitale. She was in Muriango Kuba in Kitale. I know her. I know her father. She has become a senator. Another one was appointed to the administration. The father passed through London. I am the one who filled the forms of that young man's father before he went to the States. He's now in Joe Biden's administration. So you must take the opportunity to thank the Kenyan government. Presidents of Kenya, all of them who have been there, from Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Arap Moi, Kibaki, now President Uhuru Kenyatta, for the tenacity and the steadfastness, Your Excellencies, you have given to us refugees.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I am refugee number one editor there, but I'm not a refugee in Kenya.
Yes.
I take Kenya as my home. I don't have papers of refugee in Kenya, but I passed through this same state when we are overthrown on 27th of July, Saturday, 10 o'clock, 1985, Miriam. We were overthrown by our own generals, General Basilio Okero, General Okero, and the others. I want to thank the government of Kenya for having accommodated us when we arrived in the Buhungu Stadium. Miriam, it was terrible. Sorry. And as a refugee who has gone through this to read and come back and to impart some knowledge, surely, I don't think I can go leave this station without thanking.
All right, don't get a glass of water, Paul.
I have it already.
Yes. All right. So thank you so much, Gabriel. We appreciate.
Thank you.
Yes. And I know Kenyans, we have a lot, our own issues here, but what I know is we are very loving. At the end of the day, you know, we're a peace-loving nation. So that's why when we see certain things, we speak out because we understand the value of peace. And I think your issue, somebody somewhere must have had it, and perhaps that is something that the government will look into. Thank you so much. So now I'll move on to Sharon. Anything that you would like to add to what has already been said?
Thank you very much, Miriam, and of course, thank you to Dr. Matsanga for the robust discussion that you've had earlier, and of course even the sentiments that have been laid out by Tawish. And I agree largely, with the statement that East Africa unity and integration is a reality, but to some extent it is actually an illusion in terms of implementation and practicability. Of course, we've had our own achievements and hurdles in equal measures, but in this extent, the illusion is a bone that needs to be cracked well by African leaders. And I believe we have a cabinet secretary of the East African community in conjunction, with other leaders that have to rise to the occasion and perhaps develop better protocols that can ensure, there's an ease and management of the kind of sibling rivalry wars that we've been experiencing in, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and different, East African communities. And at the end of the day, provide an enabling and conducive environment for traders, because we all have, enough resources that if we actually pull them together, we are going to be able to grow our economies of skills and that will actually be of mutual benefits. Tawish talked about the issue of Uganda, being a rich food basket, and of course even Tanzania. And here in Kenya, if I look at the major issues, I believe prices, we need to relook into why Kenya is not as competitive and probably relax some of the tax regimes, or even if it's local materials, because at the end of the day, the common trader is always the one who's actually caught at a melee. So, and of course, Dr. Matsanga talked about, why Kenya is actually the pinnacle of global power and the helm of governance. And we have been an island of peace. And one thing we actually appreciate is the presence of Kenya under the administration of, President Uhuru Kenyatta, being, sitting, temporary at the UNSC. So with the regard, I appreciate the presence of Kenya. And when I look at the tenure, and that is what Dr. Matsanga has talked about in, quite robustly and in largely about the tenure of our current president, almost coming to an end. And if you look at even, the kind of an impromptu visit that he made yesterday at Mbita, and urged the citizens there to be keen on peace, and, to choose a peace amongst each and every other thing. And for him, he's keen on the transition of the next administration. For him, I believe we want to see leaders who will be able to continue, enhance, and strengthen his vision for this country, and not just leaders who are going to polarize or instigate the division of this country. And we will all agree about the how much impact the handshake has brought about, the unique tranquility and an enabling environment that it has provided. So in this regard, everyone has to endeavor to have peace, because it is paramount and cannot be compromised at any point. I believe we all need national unity first, cohesion and integrity, and then from there we can now be able to focus on economic recovery and social justice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I see Joseph Otto there, you're saying, I have been a refugee almost the rest of my life, Doc. And you're laughing. That is sad, but unfortunately, that is the reality for a lot of,
What did you do?
And for South Sudan. So, and that's why you see, I'm usually
Medium.
South Sudan. Yeah.
Medium. Otto is younger than me. And I believe he has been a refugee for 37 years. I don't know how old. How old are you, Otto? But I have only stayed peacefully in my country from for how many years are these? That, yes, finished that. Miriam.
Otto is 47. It's 47 years. He's a grown man.
Well grown up man. I have spent 37 in exile.
Mm-hmm. But he be saying for all of his life he's been a refugee.
Yeah,
that is
because his father, he produced him while he was out in Europe. I know Joseph has suffered quite a lot.
Although I think the other time he said he's somewhere in Kiambu. I think he's been raised in I don't know, but he could correct that up for us.
Otto to be in Kiambu.
He knows Kenya very well, so he sounds like
Otto is in Denmark, but he grew up in Kenya as a refugee. They left here and they went to Denmark for resettlement.
Okay, he could clear that up for us. But yes,
for us. But first of all, thank you very much, Miriam, for this topic. Yes. Mm-hmm. I would like to point out that I want people to take President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's infrastructural development, the integration spirit, the Pan-African spirit, the type of resolving the conflicts. Sharon has raised something very important, a pinnacle. Kenya is a pinnacle of peace. Mm-hmm. Despite all the problems, the refugees who come from camps to go and kill Kenyans again, But Kenya has not been so radical to chase them out. You know, Al-Shabaab trains people in Dabab, and some of them come and kill the same Kenyans who gave them food. And then you see, there you are, Otto has answered you, Miriam, you will get it.
Yes, he's lived in a couple of estates around Nairobi. So yeah, this one is Kenyan.
Yes, it's Kenyan pure.
Otto, we've claimed you now.
Like me, I know my house where I stayed, house number 246 in Ngei Estate, in the boys' quarters there. In 1985, I was paying rent 250 shillings. 250 shillings. I don't think I can get it today. You can't take an SQ. It will be about 20,000 shillings today. So, Miriam, we have gone through all this transition. My bus was bus route number 15. And if I don't have a shilling to enter route number 15, there was a conductor lady who just saw me, very beautiful and handsome boy, small, slender. She used to allow me, I'm sorry, I committed some corruption. She used to allow me to go for free, that conductor lady. I don't know where she is. If I found her and the children, I would take one of the children to school. Miriam, 1 shilling to get on a bus in 1985 was very difficult for me at times. I could walk from, you can imagine, from Ngei Estate up to town, Canoni House, where you could find another refugee to give you food, to take you for chips. Chips was the most expensive. You eat chips, and that chips is not the type of chips they are cooking today. The chicken that we used to eat near Jivenji Gardens, that chicken had sweetness. Today's chicken has no sweetness. These Bazungu have brought something in this chicken, in these fertilizers. And Miriam, you should look at this topic very seriously. We used not to go with bags, a man carrying a bag that is going to the gym. Today we are going to the gym. Every man, every good man with a suit, you find him with a big bag. The food that we used to eat those days used not to take us to the gym, Jermaine. We better think twice. There's something wrong in our fertilizers, which could be bringing us more diseases in Africa. That's why people take it and say, like that man of Microsoft, he says, the wife said there will be dead bodies on the African continent. What do they know? We are eating things that everybody here you see in this country is fat. Most people, yes, Miriam. Even younger boys who should be running. I used to run like hell. I am a very good footballer. I used to play number 11. And I used to score. This is Dr. Matsanga talking to you. Was a very good footballer. But when I arrived in London, I was still very handsome with dimples here. My dimples now have disappeared. Yes, I had the dimples. Everybody, even the Bazungu, when they look at me, they used to love me. Handsome, younger, tall man. But now look, somewhere in 1993, 94 there, when I started going out I ate wrong food or something.
So it's the lifestyle. Doc, is the lifestyle.
It's not, no, but Miriam, okay. If you say it's lifestyle,
you have to mind what you eat.
Why is Tawish? Tawish was very small.
Yeah, it's the lifestyle. And
now I see Tawish is growing.
It's the lifestyle. It's the lifestyle. Hakuna shortcut hapo.
Don't you eat nyama choma?
I hardly. I don't.
I also hardly eat nyama.
And I don't eat chapatis, I don't take sodas, I don't care for KFC.
No, don't. The things you are mentioning, I eat chapati. I eat chapati once in a while.
You should be eating the brown one. So if you're still eating the white one and you're complaining, then yeah.
Look here, Tawish used to be very small. Now is Tawish eating chapati also?
Tawish eats a lot of nyama choma. He enjoys it.
Sorry, Miriam. I don't think that.
In a nutshell, Miriam.
Let me just spare the argument. Let me spare the argument for now.
in a nutshell, the East African community, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has done very well, has tried to put up a spirit of East African community. And that is what we want. That is what we want to encourage him, Your Excellency, that to leave a legacy, leave a border-free entry, let people work on both sides. I'm happy that the Kenya government has allowed people to work. The Kenya government allows everybody to come. Uganda government does not ask a Kenyan for a work permit. Medium, in my village, I have 29 families. My village, 29 Kenyans. Luckily enough, most of them are Terere. We speak. They have grown up there. They went there in 2008. They don't want to come back. The M-Pesa shops are Karanja Matanga, Karanja this, Karanja Matanga, Karanja. There are many. And they are doing business. Nobody has asked them for a permit. That is the spirit that the East Africa we want. And the President Uhuru Kenyatta, yes, thank you, sir, encourage that spirit. Yes, thank you very much. Encourage the spirit of even bringing in East Africa. Somalia should come to East Africa. But I want to ask the East African heads of state, including Uganda and Kenya, let's just combine the forces and go and throw these boys in Indian Ocean. Yes, already see. But Miriam, look, you were, before you go, you are talking of something that I had forgotten to ask. We are using drones to locate so many things. Why don't we use drones to locate where these guys are? Yes. And we clean Somalia. Somalia, the milk for a camel is very good milk. Very good. If you drink it, you don't go down quickly.
The US used to do that and fight against Al-Shabaab. I think since they withdrew, I don't know what has been happening, but the US has been using it.
I am happy. I am impressed with the government of Uganda for having gone inside Congo to remove and pick 146 rebel groups. What are they creating for who? 146 million. They are creating to come and drink our blood. No. That should change. And do you know what? Some of the companies that I will mention in our next diplomatic leaks, the companies that pay these rebel groups, Miriam, have found the whole list. The whole list. Another one is called a Zimbabwean man is laying a cable and he has employed 10,000 men called Strive Masiyiwa. Tell me, what the hell? Where did he get these 10,000 men? Time has come for East Africa to wake up. And if I were President Museveni, I would go and bomb those cables. Let us bomb them. You know, me, anything that touches peace, I don't like to hear. If you are going to bring insecurity, that's why I disagree with the Ruto here. Because Ruto's agenda is a liar. He goes to lie our government that he's a very good man when he's not. For us, we don't Harun Ayadini to come to Uganda because Harun Ayadini is a terrorist. Hala, we don't want him to come to Uganda again. Miriam, we want an integrated East Africa that you ring a telephone and a ring and is given 15 billion to go and do terrorist work. You come back to Uganda, Mr. Ruto. No, that is not very good. Don't deceive our president and lie to him. You are a wrong guy. And that one I'll speak with authority because I've documented data that shows that you lie. This type of lies are the ones that we don't want in East Africa. Where is Harun Ayadin? What has happened? Now we are bringing another one called Max Spencer. Spencer, Sijui Michael Spencer. Another one. We are bringing so many. You know what? Don't look for political power medium when you can't have your what bottom up are you going to give people of Kenya? You are threatening people that nobody can steal my vote. Who are you? Are you when you are all yourself a thief? Uko mwizi, then you know there is no honor among thieves. Do you have honor among thieves, Miriam? Thieves can turn on each other and hammer each other. Even in they have gone to steal, they stand and steal. And they fight in the house. You know, I was reading a story. Did you hear about it? Where thieves went to a certain location in Kenya. Medium. And they cooked food. You saw that story on TV. They even took time to cook food and ate very well after stealing all the where were the police? So thieves have no honor. They stole the cow, slaughtered it, put it there. The whole night they were eating. So East Africa does not want the type of leadership that is going to be based on lies. Where you go and lie another head of state that you are doing very well in Kenya, you have Mr. Harun Ayadin. Mr. Harun Ayadin is a terrorist in Turkey. Now you brought him to our country. We don't know what he did there. Have you ever heard me talk about my country that put sanctions? Miriam, have you? All of you here? I have never. I'm not Morgan Changarai to be stupid. Morgan Changarai is dead in the grave, but the sanction thing is haunting him because he called on sanctions to eat Zimbabwe. A stupid big pumpkin head, you know? So there you are. I want to thank you so much. The editor's memo says East Africa. I don't know whether Miriam has something to finish as I finish. East African community is a reality. Whether today or tomorrow, it will come. But it remains a myth if we don't implement some of the things that we talk about. The current, pull and push should be sorted out with ministers. For example, the sale of milk, Kenyan milk in Uganda, Ugandan eggs into Kenya. The farmers in Uganda are complaining about their eggs. There are too many there. But who is corrupt? Who is confusing this situation? Is it Ruto and the minister Mwebaze? They are partners in business. You know, the biggest problem here is people don't tell President Uhuru Kenyatta the truth. Tell them. Am I wrong? They are partners in so many projects. So someone is taking lies. Oh, don't buy Uhuru Kenyatta's Brookside milk. Don't buy this. You know? No, this should not be there. Those obstacles should not be there. Let Ugandans, we live at the border with Kenyans. When we had no sugar during those days of Idi Amin, we used to steal to come to take Chebukube, Soko ya Magendo. We used to steal sugar from Kenya. Yes, batteries, newspaper. I was a rebel leader then, a gorilla in 1978. I used to sneak in with newspapers for people to read and bring back. So let's have an interaction. And East Africa, and Africa with a vision. We thank President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta for pushing the East African integration. And one of the last points I want to make is I want to caution leaders, because I'm in the bracket 67 there I'm going. And God will take me the time he wants, because it is only God who can decide. You can want Tawish to go down, but Tawish might not go down. So I want to caution leaders, these petty differences. For example, the border between Kenya and Uganda and Rwanda is closed. For 2 years, we have missed business. We need to initiate dialogue so that we talk. Talking does not stop difficult obstacles. It doesn't. Obstacles remain. But if you talk, you find a solution. If we had not initiated the talks with Kony, if President Museveni had not allowed and accepted for Matsanga, the UN, the EU, everybody to go to Juba in the bushes of Congo to look for Kony, we would not have got what we got in Uganda today. And in Uganda today, the northern part of Uganda, people are enjoying peace because I talked, I looked for Kony, and we sat down on table. Tawish, you were interviewing me here in 2008 when I was the chairman and the chief negotiator of the Uganda peace talks. My brain has talked, convinced Kony to put agreement on all 5 practical agreements of peace talks. I'm happy. No boy that I returned home in Uganda has ever gone into activities that are contrary to the amnesty that they were given. Nobody. Keep the spirit and the work. My country has returned to peace. There is peace in my country. I am happy. I can walk freely in the world with nobody looking back. That is the type of life we want. Even if nilifinywa, unajua hiyo, nilifinywa pesa zangu bado pata. I never got my money. The EU, I've written letters to the EU, to South Sudan Deputy President, Riek Machar, seeking my money. They have referred me to President Museveni, who authorized for my money to be given. So I will pursue. This is 14 years I've not touched my money. And I want to speak frankly here so that people don't misunderstand me. It is only that I don't have any problem. Now peace has grown 14 years. If that money was being held back, I need my money. That's all. I'm not interested in any other politics. I'm not. I also need to enjoy, isn't it? People are enjoying fruits. Kony would have killed me. It would not have killed them. It would have killed me. So I need my money. And I will go on shouting, even AU, wherever we meet. You know me, Tawish, and Miriam and the rest. I will not keep quiet until they give me my money. I have no other problem. Even if they want to do whatever they want to do, I don't mind. But one of my children, the last born, is a lawyer, very powerful. Another one is a lawyer. They will look for that money. They are not small kids anymore. That was what I wanted, my children to grow. They have grown. The last one is 22. Coming to 23, she's a lawyer in King's College, not small schools. Yes. I just need that money. It was my money. But peace is important. Talking is important. Let's not build peace on lies. Sharon, Miriam, Tawish, those are my sentiments on peace, on East Africa, integrated, united. It will produce a united Africa. I have no problem at all. And the Miriam, you will have to give me a support. You would not have met me here. If I had gone to the maker, that man was killing everybody. But I managed to persuade him not to kill even my own delegation. I met him 12 to 13 times. When every time he slaughters people. But I managed to get the contracts, the agreements signed, accountability signed, truth and reconciliation signed. So many Acholis, 120,000 Acholi young abducted people returned home. South Sudan of Joseph Manasseh Otto will tell you it is created as a result of my efforts. From 2006, 2007, 2008, I was there. The most important thing, as Butoro said, peace is there. If the money doesn't come, I want peace to hold. I want that peace to continue. I want the people to be peaceful throughout. That's what I sing. That is what I say. God bless you. Miriam, open up and I hand over to you to send us home. That is my message. Thank you very much. I want to thank you. We have passed how many minutes? 20 minutes. We shot over. But thank you very much, madam. Tonight at 7 o'clock, East African Standard Time, to 9 o'clock, get ready. Piero Lumumba, Dr. Jeff Kalui, Dr. Mataire Rutendo, Dr. Tinashe Johans, Dr. David Matsanga, and Miriam are the hosts. We are the hosts. Today, I will not be the host. I want Miriam to be the host. Allow us to have an argument with this gentleman. There's a show, face the fire. We are going to face the fire. Either the fire burns you or you burn the fire. So Miriam, don't hesitate to ask questions. Don't hesitate to cut some people short, especially me. Cut me short. If there is any reason that I'm not talking sense, spare your time. Every Thursday, arrange that timetable. That every Thursday we have faced the fire is a political program that we want to initiate, that we shall take to the studios, that we bring politicians to face fire with me or with you or with Tawish or with anybody. So thank you very much. Tonight, tune in at 7 o'clock East African Standard Time. Professor Piero Lumumba, Dr. Jeff Kirui, Dr. Tinashe Johans, Dr. Mataire, and Professor Hoide from London, a Zimbabwean. People think that Hoide is a British. No, he's a Zimbabwean. Professor David Hoide, my professor in political science and international relations. We shall be on wire tonight on this platform, Punchline Africa Television, the only television south of Sahara that talks the truth online. Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you very much, Tawish. Thank you very much, Gitonga. This station, therefore, is for Africa, with Africa, by Africa. Ciao. Thank you.